Okay, I'm ready to start. Okay. Let's turn the camera on the male side so I can see them.
Turn the camera around, turn the computer around so it's facing the males.
Okay, good morning, everyone. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court. I'm here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you, to advise you of certain rights, to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing, but should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you. So please don't discuss the facts of your case. During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights: to the presumption of innocence, to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors, to a speedy and public trial by jury, to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf, to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense, to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail. These bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail. If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you could remain in jail until your trial. You could also receive additional felony charges. It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time. Where the bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you. The standard at this stage is very low. A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred. Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing. However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived. You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date. Lastly, I need everyone to raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm any statements you make during this proceeding shall be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God? Okay, thank you. Let's start on the male side with Broderick Demond Williams.
Go ahead.
Mr. Williams, I would normally speak to you directly, but you've taken advantage of the opportunity to hire a lawyer. Mr. Walker is here appearing on your behalf, so I will speak to him about your case. I just want to warn you that this is not private or privileged, so don't say anything during this proceeding that you would not want the whole world to know, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Walker, Mr. Williams is charged with, looks like 3 misdemeanors and 1 felony. The
Okay.
first charge is violation of the window tint statute. There's going to be a $500 bond set for that offense.
Okay.
The second charge is driving on a suspended license. There's going to be a $1,500 bond set for that. He's charged with VGCSA, but from reading the narrative in the warrant, there's an allegation of suspected marijuana in a book bag, but it does not list a weight, so that reverts to a misdemeanor. So the
Okay.
bond is going to be set at $1,500 for that. And finally, he was charged with theft by receiving stolen property, being a firearm that was reported stolen out of Henry County on January 10th of 2021. And it was listed as a misdemeanor, but that charge is a felony. There was a $2,000 bond set by schedule. I did not disturb that bond. So that bond is going to remain in place. So your client's going to have a total bond of $5,500. However, I will listen to you as to anything you want to tell me about the bond or your client or
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Judge, I've been knowing Mr. Broderick Williams pretty much his whole life. He's a military veteran. And that's why I'm leery about the weapon that was found in his vehicle. He always had a license for a weapon. As far as the suspended license go, we thought that we had fixed that problem with the license. It's apparently that it has not been fixed. And we had a case back in 2021 about this situation with a gun out in Henry County. I'm not sure because it's an old file. And they said that he had a warrant out in Henry County, but we had went to court like right now, like in magistrate, and we had settled that problem in court. It was a fine back during COVID. So, and I'm talking to the people in Henry County this morning, and they claiming they don't see a warrant. But I told them that Clayton County police officer went to the screen and a warrant came up. So I don't know what's going to happen with that situation. But what we would ask the court, Mr. Williams is a military veteran, vet. He does not run from any of his situations or his problems. And we would ask the court that we will accept the total amount of the bond, Judge, being $5,500.
Okay. Let me see if it's showing real quick. Since you brought that up as an issue, let me check on my end. I could give you the serial number for the weapon if that will help you with Henry County.
Okay.
It says it's a silver Ruger SR40C with the serial number 3433240.
Okay.
And it said it was located under the front driver's seat.
All right. We'll deal with that, Judge.
Okay. Do you want me to check on to see if there is a warrant showing?
Yes, because when I spoke to the Sheriff's Department in Henry County and I gave them the case number, the case had been closed. The issue was whether or not the warrant, where did the warrant come from? How did it get there based on that situation? Because we're at a miss as to why there's a warrant. Because I was on Zoom, he was in court when we got rid of the case.
Okay, I'd see that there is a warrant for failure to appear. It says the warrant was issued on May 6th of 2021. And it says to check to verify. So normally that means that it may not still, it may be still on the GCIC, but it may not have been taken
Down.
Right.
Because we was in court then.
It was like one court after the main.
Roger, were you trying to say something?
Yeah, I was trying to say we went to court after May.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So I had a warrant when I went to court then.
Mr. Williams, hold on, sir.
Don't say that.
Okay, so you may need to contact the GBI, their criminal records division, to let them know that this is still pending.
Right.
And it may be, as simple as, since it's coming out of, I've had to do this before, since it's coming out of McDonough through the sheriff's department, they can correct it and send in the new information to GCIC.
Yeah, that's what they told me. They told me as soon as I get off court today to call them back. So as soon as I'm finished with this today, then I'm gonna give them a call right back.
Yeah. So that's what's showing. It says failure to appear, and it says that it was entered in on May 6th of 2021.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. I'll take care of it.
You're welcome. Is there anything else?
Judge, that concludes our business.
Okay.
all
It was good to see you, Mr. Walker. You're free to go, and Mr. Williams is free to go back.
Judge, it's always good to be seen.
Good to see you, sir. Let's switch
Thank you.
over to the ladies' side. We're going to start with Miss Allman, Allmon. Miss Allman, ma'am, you're charged with one count of simple assault. This is a misdemeanor offense. I'm setting the bond at $1,500. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Sydney Clark. Do you understand that?
I do.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for April 5th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I do.
I'm going to find that you qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't. No, not at this time.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Miss Anderson, Stephanie Anderson.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, Miss Anderson, ma'am, you're charged with one count of use or possession of drug-related objects. That's a misdemeanor offense. I'm setting the bond at $1,500 for that offense. You're also charged with one count of possession of a misdemeanor amount of marijuana. I'm setting the bond at $1,500 for that. And you're also charged with felony possession of a Schedule II controlled substance. And I'm setting the bond at $3,000 for that. So you're going to have a total bond set at $6,000. There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for April 4th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Next, we have Ms. Colvin, Colvin. Ms. Colvin, ma'am, you're charged with one count of misdemeanor battery. The bond is going to be set at $5,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Demarius Matthew. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for April 5th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to find that you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Next, we have Miss Hardy, Hardy.
You bonded out, Your Honor.
She's gone? She bonded out?
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
Thank you. After Ms. Hardy, we have Ms. Kelly.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Ms. Kelly, ma'am. You're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. I set the bond at $3,000. And initially I put a stay away provision on the bond for James Leach, but that's the property manager at this apartment complex. So I'm going to remove that stay away provision. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for April 5th at 8:30 in the morning. Courtroom 201, that date will get waived upon your bonding out and you will get a new court date in the mail. I see that you refused to sign the form. Are you going to hire your own attorney?
No, sir.
Are you going to represent yourself?
I wanted to see if I could qualify for one.
The way that I qualify you is by looking at your responses to the form that you were given.
Okay. Well, I'll just represent myself.
Are you currently working, ma'am?
No, sir.
I'm going to find that you qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay, you're free to go back. Ms. Norwood.
How you doing?
Good morning. Ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of family violence battery. I've set the bond at $5,000. However, I think I'm going to change that to $1,000, but I'm going to keep this stay away provision in place. And the stay away provision is going to, for you to stay away from a Sylvia Norwood. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for April 5th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, I do. You said, stay away from Sylvia.
Yes, ma'am.
Sylvia and I live together, so I can't go back there, sir. That's what you mean?
Not while this case is pending or until Ms. Norwood seeks to have this provision changed. And the reason we do that, ma'am, is because for whatever reason, we had to expend resources to come out to this location because of some dispute that 2 adults could not apparently handle between themselves. And you're going to get out today, so we don't want whatever led to the police having to come out
Sir, I'm
last
not-
night. Ma'am, let me finish.
Oh, he's not. Home.
Whatever happened last night to reoccur tonight. Do you understand that?
You talking?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what was it that you had to say?
You know, I was gonna say, sir, I was living there before Sylvia. She moved in on me.
Okay, ma'am, I can't get into the facts of the case. A law enforcement officer went out to the scene and made an independent determination that apparently you were the person that needed to get arrested. So I've appointed a lawyer,
Okay.
and it goes to the next step about who did what to whom. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Anything else, ma'am?
No, that's it.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Okay.
Miss Royal, Royal. Ma'am, you're charged with criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. This is a felony offense. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Lorenzo Houston. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for April 4th at 8:30 in the morning. courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Miss White. You are Miss Winsome White. Ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. This is a misdemeanor offense. I'm setting the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond, to stay away from a day more white. Do you understand that?
Sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for April 5th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your ability to bond out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, please.
You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir, thank you.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. And finally, we have a Miss Wright, Wright.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, ma'am. You're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. This is a misdemeanor offense. I've set the bond at $3,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from and I'm gonna probably mispronounce the name, Dazahari Flint, Dazhare Flint. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for April 5th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. You did not fill out the form. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer?
I either plan on hiring my own lawyer or representing myself. I haven't decided yet, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Your Honor, that's gonna be all the females for today.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's switch over to the male side. First person I have is, it looks like a Mr. Alidima, Aladimma. Good morning, sir. You're charged with 1 count of misdemeanor obstruction of an officer. Set the bond at $2,000 for that offense. 1 count of criminal trespass. Allegation is being on property for an unlawful purpose. I've set the bond at $1,500 for that offense. And finally, there's a felony offense of damage to government property. I've set the bond at $4,000 for that. So that's a total bond of $7,500. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 4th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Next, I have Mr. Ansari King is bonded out, correct? Or King Ansari is bonded out. After that, I have Mr. Barlow.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Barlow. Give me 1 second, sir. Okay, Mr. Barlow, sir, you're charged with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 offenses. Some are felonies, some are misdemeanors. Okay, so you're charged with improper stop or yield at a stop sign. That's misdemeanor offense, bond is set at $500. Second charge is knowingly operating a vehicle with a suspended or canceled registration. I set the bond at $1,500 for that. Third charge is driving a vehicle on a learner's permit at a time that was not permitted. Bond set at $500 for that. You're charged with possession with intent to distribute marijuana. I set the bond at $5,000 for that offense. You're charged with possession of more than an ounce of marijuana. I set the bond at $5,000 for that offense. You're also charged with use or possession of drug-related objects. Bond is going to be set at $1,500 for that. And there's a last charge that didn't make it onto the bond order, but I wrote it on here, which is possession of firearm during the commission of a crime. I've also set the bond at $5,000 for that offense. So you're going to have a total bond set at $19,000. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for April 4th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, Your Honor, I'm looking to hire one.
Okay, do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Bennett,
Morning, Your Honor.
good morning. Mr. Bennett, sir, you're charged with 2 driving-related offenses. These are both misdemeanors. The first charge is improper lane change. Bond is going to be set at $500 for that offense. And the second charge is driving a vehicle without a valid driver's license. Bond is going to be set at $1,000. So we're going to have a total bond set at $1,500. Do you believe, well, I'm not going to ask that question. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, thank you.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Mr. Burley.
Good day, Your Honor.
Hey, how are you doing, Mr. Burley? Sir, you're charged with 1 count of family violence battery. I understand that you are a veteran.
I'm a disabled veteran, yes, sir. I'm diagnosed with a few ailments as well. PTSD included.
You live at this location?
I do, yes, sir.
Do you have any other place to go?
I don't, sir. With that case, I can know the officer did tell me that my wife was leaving, so she said that she wouldn't be back there when I go. So yeah, her and my son will be removed from the home. So
Okay.
I will be the only one at the residence. And most of the time, that's how it was, Your Honor. I was always there by myself. Most of the time, she would come and go.
Is it your residence?
Yes, sir.
Does Ms. Givens have someplace else to live?
She's staying with her mother.
Okay.
Yeah, she's
All right.
Your Honor, I don't have anyone else here. I'm here from South Carolina.
Okay. So I've set your bond at $1,000, Mr. Burley. I am going to place a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Oceanteria Givens. Do you understand that?
No, Your Honor. How long does that put into play? How does that work?
Okay. So whenever there's an issue that comes before the court, such as this, we place a stay away provision on the bond because most of the time before the day is over, you're going to be bonded out. And if we don't place a stay away provision on the bond, sometimes whatever sentiment that led to your being arrested the night before is still present. And what we don't want is for that fire to rekindle, those embers to turn into a fire. And now either someone is injured or we have law enforcement coming right back out. So we place a stay away provision on the bond, which means that you understand that no matter what happened, it's in your best interest to stay away from that person on the short term. This can get changed, but it has to go through the solicitor's office, or you can file a motion with this court and there can be a hearing and everything is brought in. Because this is a one-sided situation, I don't know you, I don't know Ms. Givens. This could have been something that was just something that got blown out of proportion, or it could have been something where law enforcement arrived before everybody was dead. We don't know. So we take the latter approach, that we got there just in time before there was a loss of life or people were seriously injured, until we can learn otherwise.
Okay.
So when there are situations where there are children involved or people that live together, I know it may sound harsh, but I always remind people that adults should not have disagreements where law enforcement or third parties have to come and get involved. And once you invite third parties into your disagreement, you have to accept that you're losing a bit of control. So I understand from your representation that Ms. Givens is not going to be there. If Ms. Givens is there, you cannot go into the residence. Okay. If Ms. Givens wants this situation or this condition to be modified, she can contact the Solicitor General's office and make her wishes known. And they will look into it and they will make a determination as to whether they believe this condition should be modified. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything? Hold on, Mr. Burley.
I do have a question about that. As far as like bonding out today, I'm a disabled veteran on a limited income. Of course, I have rent and everything else to do. Like I said, I have to pay all these things by myself. I don't have a job. I can never work again. Is there any way that the bond can be lesser, or I can, I'm not too sure about the laws and details, but I do hear that you can sign out yourself, or is there any other thing that can be done that may alleviate the situation with me and the stress upon me as well?
So by law, I can't set, they call it an unsecured judicial release. By law, I can't set an unsecured judicial release on bond on an offense involving family violence.
Okay.
I've set the bond at $1,000. That's the lowest amount that I can set where a bonding company will come in. So your options are you pay the $1,000 to the sheriff's department. They hold the money until your case is resolved, and then they return the money to you. You go through a bonding company, they'll charge you a fee, which is generally anywhere from 10 to 12% of the bond amount. So that may be anywhere between $100, $150 that you pay out of pocket to get out of jail. Or if you have property, which it doesn't sound like you do, that is in the county, you can put the property up. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for April 5th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out. Then you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
If you do qualify, sir, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions for me, Mr. Burley?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Burley. Mr. Cadet, C-A-D-E-T. Mr. Cadet, sir, I've set your bond. You're charged with one count of possession or use of drug-related objects. It's a misdemeanor offense. I've set your bond at $1,500. There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for April 5th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working, sir?
Excuse me?
Are you currently working?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I am.
About how much you make per hour?
I work. I got a little part-time job I do, and I get paid for the night. And then I got other work that side by. I was supposed to work today. And I was supposed to work today, and I was somewhere at the wrong time. And then
Hold on, Mr. Cadet. You're getting ahead of yourself. So you're paid by the day?
Yes, I was at this restaurant around this area, but I don't get paid a lot of money, but it's good for me, and I was supposed to do a big job today. But
Okay, I'm gonna find that you qualify, Mr. Cadet. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir. Mr. Coachman. Mr. Coachman, sir, you're charged with 1 count of family violence battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Kenya butler. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I do completely.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for April 5th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir, you can.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir, not at this moment.
Okay, free to go back.
All right.
Mr. Finley.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Mr. Finley, sir, you're charged with 1 count of burglary, 1 count of kidnapping, and 1 count of battery.
Yes, sir.
Bond is going to be denied on the burglary charge. Bond is going to be denied on the kidnapping charge. Those are 2 felony offenses. And I've set a $5,000 bond on the battery. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond, to stay away from a Sarah McDonald. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for April 4th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. You're going to also have a bond hearing date set for April 8th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. You refuse to fill out the form. You're going to hire your own lawyer?
I've already hired my own attorney.
What's your lawyer's name?
He works for Lee Sexton's office.
Okay. Okay. Okay, make sure you tell your lawyer about those court dates.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
One question. What was the
Yes,
court
sir.
date?
April 4th
And April
at
8th.
and April 8th. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Mr. Ford. Morning, Mr. Ford. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of theft by shoplifting as a felony offense. There's an indication that you, looks like you're on either probation or parole out of New York City.
yeah,
So I cannot set bond on this offense. It's going to be Bond is going to be denied pursuant to Georgia statute OCGA 17-10-1.
But they're not gonna violate,
That's not how the statute works.
I'm on parole down here in Georgia. I got a parole officer here.
Okay.
I just went from,
Okay. It doesn't matter where.
okay. But I'm saying my parole officer can't be contacted here?
You can contact your parole officer and let your parole officer know about this arrest. I'm sure the district attorney's office is going to contact your parole officer. And if the parole officer says, hey, I don't mind about this guy getting released back on the street, still doesn't mean the district attorney is going to agree to it, but it cuts down a barrier.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Now let me finish. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 4th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. You're going to also have a bond hearing date set for April 8th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. Now, you refused to fill out the form. Have you hired your own lawyer?
No, because I was under the impression that had $1,000 would have got me out. So I don't. So now you're saying I have a parole? I don't know.
Mr. Ford, you're a multi-state offender. You have you have probably, I think, 13, 14 cycles in New York. I think the latest one was maybe a year ago. And you have cycles down here. So you just need to bulk yourself in that you've complicated things by going all around and doing all this kind of stuff. So, I mean, you more than anybody else should know that the system doesn't work perfectly.
Yeah, so I lost my job over there. So all right.
Do you want me to appoint you a lawyer?
Yes, please.
You said as of your arrest, you were working, correct?
Yeah, I live with my mother and my grand.
And about how much did you make per hour?
I make $10 an hour at Food Depot. And the meat department.
Okay. So you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Mr. Gaines. Mr. Gaines, sir, you're charged with one count of loitering or prowling. That's a misdemeanor offense. Bond is set at $1,000, and one count of use or possession of drug-related objects. That's also a misdemeanor offense. Bond is set at $1,500 for a total bond of $2,500. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 5th at 8:30 in the morning. Courtroom 201, that date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Welcome. Mr. Garcia. Mr. Garcia, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. That's a misdemeanor. And one count of entering an automobile, which is a felony offense. Bond is going to be set at $3,500 for a total bond of $5,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Maria Montez de Ocha. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
And I understand that's your mother. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for April 5th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you will get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Eugene Johnson. Morning, Mr. Johnson. Sir, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Eureka Stevens. Do you understand that?
I understand that.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for April 5th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir. And then after that, question I have.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. What's your question?
My question is that, I understand the stay away. So what do I do to secure myself to get my property and go? I don't need to go back to the police at all. I just need my stuff.
As you're making arrangements, as you're going through the bonding process, make arrangements through the sheriff's department for there to be a time and a place and the place is the location, the sheriff's department or someone from the Clayton County Police Department will show up so that you can go inside, get your things, and you can leave.
All right, okay, I'm fine with that. Thank you.
Okay, anything else, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right.
Kawan Johnson.
How you doing, y'all?
I'm doing well, Mr. Johnson. Sir, you're charged with one count of simple battery. That's a misdemeanor. I've set the bond at $4,000. And one count of cruelty to children in the third degree. That's also a misdemeanor. I've set the bond at $3,000. That's total bond is $7,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Kayla Walton. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. I have a question though.
I'll wait till the end. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for April 5th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
How much do you earn per hour or per month?
15.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, what was your question?
I know when you had mentioned stay away from Kayla Walton, even though she's my girl, she can still call the solicitor's office to get that drop right, as far as to stay away from.
If that's what she wants, yes.
Yeah, because I live at that address, so.
I understand.
And we still like, you know what I'm saying, still together. Yeah, so I was just asking.
Yeah, so I mean, and Ms. Johnson, you're like, believe it or not, I probably, if I'm doing this for a week, it's probably 100 people that are in the same boat that you're in. I just don't understand how adults can't resolve disputes without either touching, hitting, calling the police. So I know it seems like this is just the one thing for you, but imagine the number of police calls that are coming to your house because you and your girl, but then down the street, somebody has a gun stuck in their face or some business is getting broken into. So you got to understand, even though it may seem like a small thing to you, that one officer can only be at one place at one time. I would much prefer that officer to be at a place where somebody's getting a gun stuck in their face than at your house refereeing a dispute between supposed adults with children in the house. So that's the larger kind of thing that I think people don't take into effect. If your door was kicked in and somebody had a gun in your face and it took 30 minutes for an officer to come to your house, you're going to be upset. If I got my girl in here, I got my girl and her kid in here, and the police couldn't come. You know why? Because they're at the other Mr. Johnson's house. but I hope this is starting to soak in.
Yes,
So that
sir.
the next time you and your girl get into an argument about wanting to have some kind of discussion or whatever, you're gonna say, you know what? I want that cop to be at somebody's house with a gun stuck in their face. So I'm just gonna go down the street, have a beer, and I'll just wait till she get off the phone, or I'll come back later. This ain't gonna turn into some big thing where the police gotta get called.
Yes, sir.
Okay? All right, sir, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Mr. Jones.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. You're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. This is a misdemeanor offense. You're in the same boat as the other young lady where I put the away provision as it relates to James Leach, but that's the property manager.
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a $3,000 bond. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for April 5th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working?
No, sir.
You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Do I qualify for a signature bond?
No, sir.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're free to go back. Mr. Phillips.
Morning.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, Mr. Phillips. Okay, I apologize, Mr. Phillips.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. You're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. This charge is going to be dismissed because there is a technical defect to the warrant. It does not list a victim. Looks like the officer put in parentheses. It looks like they intended to put a victim's name, but did not put a victim. So I cannot process this. Now, that does not mean that this charge cannot be brought back at a later date. They're going to have 2 years from yesterday's date in order to bring this charge back, but it's going to be dismissed here today.
So I will be released today, correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You're free to go back.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Mr. Stallings.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Stallings, sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. That's a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. 1 count of simple assault. That is also a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. And finally, you're charged with simple battery, which is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $4,000. So you're going to have a total bond set at $10,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond, to stay away from a Diana Mitchell. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for April 5th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you will get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Please, sir.
You do qualify, Mr. Stallings. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir. Is there any way that the bond can be reduced a little? Because that really wasn't violent.
Well, these are 3 violent offenses.
Yeah, but I didn't lay hands on anybody, sir. Just in a financial tight spot right now.
According to the witness, the simple battery comes from the allegation or an allegation of pulling the victim's hair.
No, sir.
And these are just allegations. You stand here as an innocent man.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to reduce this, Mr. Stallings.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Mr. Thomas.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Thomas, sir. You're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Tawana primus. Do you understand that?
Yes, yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for April 5th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. I see that you're asking for a lawyer to be appointed. You do qualify. I'm going to grant that request. Do you have any questions of me?
Is there any way the bond could be reduced?
Hold on, let me read it. No. The allegation is that you punched the bedroom door 4 times with a closed fist, causing damage to the door after having a verbal altercation with Miss Primus. And the reason I don't reduce those is that you wouldn't be standing before me if you allegedly didn't punch holes in the door. So the way that you lower your bond is not by punching the door. Just walk away.
Can I say something else, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
What happened if it's like identity, like wrong identity, like not the right person?
You're saying that you are not the person named in this warrant.
Yes.
What is your name?
Evans Eustace Thomas. My first name is Evans, the last name is Thomas.
What's your date of birth?
June 13th, 1988.
You're the right person.
Okay, that's it, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, you're free to go back. Mr. Willis Williams.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. I'm sorry, give me 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Williams, sir, you're charged with 1 count of battery. That's a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. And 1 count of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. That's also a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $3,000 for a total bond of $8,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Sierra Night. CYEARRA night. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for April 5th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. Going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
I do have one question. What if within the time of the court hearing, I hire a lawyer?
Then you just notify the lawyer that I appointed that you've retained counsel, and so that they can withdraw from the case.
Okay, thank you very much.
Anything else, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Okay, then you have a good day.
You too. All right, finally, we have a Mr. Waters, fugitive from justice.
Everyone, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Waters. You are in the same boat as the other individuals with respect to your rights and your privileges. The only difference is you're here on a slightly different matter. You're being held on what's called a fugitive from justice warrant. And what that simply means is that there is a warrant for your arrest out of, looks like Sutter County Sheriff's Department in California. And it looks like it's for obstruction.
Oh, so you said it's a different warrant as they put a fugitive for my arrest, as in they that's why they did that, made it a fugitive for my arrest, made me a fugitive.
Hold on one second. Let me try to explain this to you, and then I'm gonna pause at points for you to ask questions. Okay. So there's a warrant for your arrest out of California, and the warrant is showing active, and it looks like it says Sutter County Sheriff's Department has said that they will extradite. The warrant is for an allegation of obstruction out of California. So Georgia has no interest in your guilt or innocence. Our only duty is to hold you until California comes to get you, or until they tell us to release you. Okay, so that process goes about in a couple ways. You have a right to challenge this warrant. And what that means is you have a right to challenge whether you are Junta Lexus Waters as the person who's named in the warrant, and whether the obstruction charge is a valid charge, meaning it exists under the law. If you were to say, look, I want to challenge that, you'll sometime between now and the next 90 days, there will be a hearing held here in magistrate court to determine whether you are the person named in the warrant and whether those charges exist or the warrant is a valid warrant. If we make that determination, we will sign off on the extradition, and California will have 30 days from that date to come and get you. At the end of that 30-day period, if they don't come and get you, they can request an additional 30-day period. Doesn't mean it'll be granted, but they can request it. So that'll be up to almost, 150 days, potentially from now, that whole process goes through. If you believe you are the person named in the warrant and you believe that these charges do exist, you can waive that process today. And if you waive that process today, that 30-day clock starts today. And so that 30-day, possibly 60-day window starts today, not at the end of whatever hearing, if you want to have the hearing. The state of California has been my observation for the people who are not here being held on violent offenses. If you were able to have a lawyer or someone out there advocate on your behalf, they've been issuing bonds out there, signature bonds or low-level bonds, so that you'll be released. If they do that, you'll be released from here but you will have the responsibility to get out to California to address these charges. Or my understanding is that they're doing things virtually the way that we are. So it may even be something that is not even in person. I don't know. In any event, I encourage you to hire a lawyer or get a lawyer to represent your interests out there. Am I making sense to you so far?
Now, it's making sense, but I'm not understanding this charge because I had different charges in California, different counties in California that I never heard of this charge before. But at the same time, my other charges that I had were similar in different counties, and they don't want me in California, in Sacramento. But with this county, it's something about this county in California that I'm understanding what you're saying. I'm a fugitive for a warrant, and different warrants in different places. That's why I'm trying to get to the bottom of this fugitive. Like, so what do that charge? Like, is that a felony? Like, what kind of charge is that? Like, do it say anything about it? Like, do it say any, like, can you explain like some of the details in there?
All I can tell you is that you and I carry the same status as legal status as lawyers out in California. I am not licensed in California. I know nothing about the law in California.
Right. Okay. So, like right now, well, you said I'm gonna try to waive it. I'm gonna try to waive it. Then I'm gonna waive it. And you said they got 30 days to come in me or whatever, how many days they can get me right now. And I'm gonna just go with it like that right now. Try to handle it as soon as I can.
Okay, once you sign the waiver, they will send the paperwork over to me and I'll sign it, and that clock will begin running today. I do encourage you to try, I don't know, family or whomever, but if you have someone that can advocate on your behalf.
Matter of fact, I got a bail bondsman. I think I got a bail bondsman that already bailed out on this. So if I call my bail bondsman and I show paperwork, who do I get that to that can release me on that day? If I call my bail bondsman, because I bailed out on this already, sorry, without a signature, like a signature line on this, I think already on the bail bondsman.
Okay, Mr. Waters, as best as possible, I need you to wait for me to stop talking before you start talking. Because when you jump in, that tells me you're not listening to a word that I'm saying. Mr. Waters, I would ask you to have someone advocate on your behalf with the court system. If the court system out there determines that they're going to lift this warrant, that information will have to come from the court system to our court system.
I got somebody to do that. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, what do you mean contact? I got to get in contact with them. You're saying Sutter County, so I contacted them myself and they said it was a probation warrant and just held it at my probation. That's all it is. That's what I'm like saying. I contacted the person. They said to get back out there and do what I can do. And I was like I said, they came and they didn't want me. They said they didn't want me. That's what it was. I'm out here. They don't want me. That's what
Okay. So, Mr. Waters, the only way you come before me is that there was a phone call made. And the question was asked, do you want us to hold Mr. Waters? And the response was yes. That's the only way you come before me.
So when I caught, so before this, when I caught a charge last time, and the same thing this morning, when I got out on my charges, have the same, because it's gonna pop up, get out, and same thing last time. Like I said, it's different places, same thing in Arkansas, but it's just with this county personally. Why is this county so, like I said, it's all right, I understand, like I said, there's nothing I can do. Like I said, I could try to do the best I can do to get in contact out there, but until I'm free, and so how long, when you said they got 30 days, right? 30 days if I wait for right now, just wait 30 by state, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry.
All right. I'm gonna let you sign the waiver and then they'll send it to me, okay?
All right. So sooner, hopefully, if we try to get them involved sooner, they'll come get me sooner. It'll be
Yes, sir.
before 30 days. All right, sir. I appreciate
Okay.
it.
No, you ain't signed. The
Okay.
paper's over there.
All right, but right now, until then, wait till then, I got it, sir. All right, I appreciate it. You have a nice one. I need to hit
Okay.
the hall right now, man. Yeah, let me hit the hall right now. No, I appreciate it.
Okay, is that it?
That's your own, that's everybody on the calendar today.
Okay, thank you. Judge Nagel is gonna fill in tomorrow. I probably won't see you again until another couple weeks. So take care of yourself.
All right,
Deputy, can you hear me?
yes, ma'am.